What's going on, friends? It's Anton Daniels, and I got to have a conversation with you guys about Teach Henley because you see how the sun is hitting me? This is no finesse, no makeup, no filters, no none of that. This is 100% Teach Henley. I use it in the morning as soon as I get up, right after I pray and brush my teeth, jump in the shower, and I'm hitting the streets because you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So even though they're giving you 40% off your first order, 20% off for life, even though you may get a free gift, forget all that, right? Because we would do this even if it was full price because it's worth that much. I'm in the streets, I'm kicking it with people, and I see Dusties everywhere. You don't want to be them. You want to separate yourself. And the way that you separate yourself is self-care. Ladies get it for the fellas. Fellas don't wait for the ladies to get it for you. I'm about to hit the streets right now, and I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling great. I mean, I already got confidence, but to have that extra boost of confidence, knowing that you've taken care of yourself and you set yourself apart from all of the rest of the sheep that's walking around making bad decisions on a daily basis. And it's reflected in their actions. It's reflected in the products that they use. It's reflected in the people that they follow. And so if you're trying to level up, if you're trying to make sure that you look good, they're going to send you the pack. They're going to give you all of the instructions on how you're supposed to use it. Then make sure you get your Teach Henley. Again, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. Get your free gift. Make sure you tap in with your boy Anton Daniels because Unc is never going to lead you wrong. I would never have you use a product that I don't use myself. Again, they've been rocking with me for a long time. Make sure you get your Teach Henley. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later. What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Thank you for tuning in for another edition of the Millionaire Morning Show. I'm your host, Anton Daniels. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? What up to all of my friends and family in the building? I appreciate y'all. Yeah. Say, Anton, I need the white button up. They're doing some modifications. We're going to be back. Some people like to call it the ESPN room. We're going to be back in the ESPN room tomorrow. What up, dog? What up? What's going on? Trill Mercy, Vito Royale, Jason 18, Treese, William Account Tax, Walk on Wood, my dog Yakar in the building. What's going on, friends? I hate when I get lint and deodorant on my shirt like that. What's going on, friends? What up? What up? What's going on? Desiree says, good morning, cool setup. This is the this is what I'm looking at when I'm usually having it pointed the other way, right? So like if I'm sitting in a chair and you know when I have the whole paintings and stuff behind me, this is what I'm looking at. So the paintings is behind me and then I have it sent the other way. You know what I'm saying? So this is what you're seeing right now. Like this is the new black couch. Well, the old black couch because it's been here for a little bit now. And then I got the other old black couch over there that's by the ESPN room. So this is where I do all my interviews at. This is where I'm going to be. This is where the new show is going to be at. So all of my in-person shows that I'm going to be doing starting this summer/fall is going to be over there, right? And then we got a couple modifications that we making and some changes. So I had something pulled down over there or whatever, but you can see the gold plaque right there for Anton Daniels channel. And then that's Millionaire Morning Show plaque. And that's another Anton Daniels plaque right there. And that's an award right there. YouTube award right there. And then I got a Room 9 plaque coming also. And so this is where I'm going to be shooting the majority of my in-person shows. So when I tell y'all I got a whole studio set up, meaning that I got the set over there that I do reaction videos to, and then I got the other set that I usually shoot Millionaire Morning Show content to where I had a white shirt on. And then I have this set right here, which this desk that I'm streaming on is where we do all of the actual production, switching the cameras and stuff like that. That's That's how we rock out. So shout out to everybody that's in the chat. Shout out to everybody that's in the show. I'm giving y'all a little bit of a background preview simply because we're making some upgrades to the ESPN room. We're going to be back in there tomorrow. We'll be back in the ESPN room. And we're going to be getting it in. What's up, y'all? How y'all feeling? I get a little bit of the background. You can see some of the cameras. You can see some of the tripods, the microphones, how I got my microphone set up and stuff like that. You can kind of see it over here too. So I got some dope ass tripods. Like I got the tripods that they use when they shoot at film shoots. So, like I got heavy duty tripods. These are my tripods right here. So we use the heavy duty joints. And we got a bunch of them all throughout the whole thing. So it's cool. It's cool. I got a standing desk, a couple standing desks over there for people when they come in and want to work, all of that. So what's up, our streets? What up, Bikes Baseball? What's up, everybody that's in the chat? Good show last night. Good show last night. Joshua says, Big Dog, I've noticed you keep mispronouncing Venezuela on purpose. Venezuela. What's the mispronounced thing? Am I mispronouncing Venezuela wrong? Keep adding an extra syllable. How do you pronounce it? Venezuela. Am I off? I thought that I pronounced it right. After chapters was over less than 8 hours ago, AD got more energy than me. I work. Venezuela? Is that how y'all say? Listen, I'm American. I speak Americans. I speak American. What up, OG? What up, A Dunn? Our streets. All of y'all in the building. I appreciate y'all. Yeah. So we're going to do a show here today. And then we're going to get back to the ESPN room. And we're going to get it popping. We're going to get it popping. What's going on, friends? How y'all feeling today? I'm feeling good. I'm feeling productive. I'm feeling like working. Cancel Anton until he can pronounce Venezuela. Eric Harris says, shout out to Bam and the Miami Heat Center for getting 83 points. As we know, some commenter is going to try to not give Miami any visibility. Joshua says, Big Dog. I read that one. Okay, AD got Club Shay Shay vibe. I had this studio set up like this since the end of 2023. Y'all just only seen a few interviews, but it's not just for product. It's also for the vibes. So for example, when I tell y'all I need a muse, you never know. I might have something pretty sitting on the couch, a couple pretty things sitting on the couch, while I'm over here working on the other side, and I just need some inspiration. Or we might get some drinks up in here before I go and shoot back out, and we do the after hours. You know what I'm saying? We got the drinks on deck. We get a vibe. We got speakers in here. We throw some music on, throw a playlist on, and we pop it. You know, we got extra couches and stuff up in here. So a lot of y'all may not know. So I got a couch right there, right? Got a couch over there. Oh yeah, it's vibey. It's very vibey in here. Very, very vibey. Very vibey all day long. Yeah. Very vibey. Very, very vibey. You got to create good energy and good vibes. You know what I'm saying? You can't have no dustiness at all. No dustiness. No dustiness. All right, y'all. So let's go ahead and figure out what we're going to talk about today. I don't see much happening in the news. I know that TSA got long ass lines. Marjorie Taylor Greene's seat is Magic City. They canceled Magic City night. You said stop explaining yourself. They ain't got to get it. That's a fact. You right. You right. You right. I did would have pulled up if I was older. Plus, if I was in the area, I know you would. Ain't too late. Ain't too late. Listen, people love coming to the city. People love coming to Detroit. They love coming to the city. It's always a good time. It's always a good vibe. It's awesome here. It's a great place to be, and it's good energy all the time in the city. We always turn up. We always have a good time, and you're gonna be comfortable. You're definitely gonna be comfortable. All right, let me see what's happening. Let me see. Oh, Rihanna. Rihanna definitely is fleeing Los Angeles. We got to get into that. Let me get into this story first before we start off. Never been to Detroit. Oh, it's popping. Absolutely, OG. 100%. It's definitely popping here. All right, so let's start off with this. We're going old school streaming. Should you do I still mess with Biloxi? Absolutely. I just been so busy. I ain't been able to get out there lately, but yeah, I rock with Biloxi. We roll with Biloxi. We mess with Biloxi. Absolutely, we do.
A Detroit woman has a gun pulled on her after getting her hair done. It was all about a dispute over the cost of the service, and some of it was caught on video. Fox News' Camille Amiri spoke to the woman about the ordeal. She joins us now live with more. Camille, this is definitely something I haven't heard before.
Yeah, this is a wild story. So Robin Phillips saw an ad for a discount at this hairdresser's house. So she decided to take advantage of that discount. She booked an appointment for her and her daughter to get their hair done. When the services were over, the hairdresser said she was charging her more money. It wasn't what the discount price was advertised as. Robin Phillips said she ended up paying the higher price anyway. And then she says this happened. Take a look.
She had the scissors in her hand. She already had scissors in her hand. She says, if you're not going to pay me, then I'm going to cut your daughter's hair. She just kept waving the scissors around like this. And I was just like, just basically trying to calm her down, like, please do not do that. So she runs upstairs and she grabs an AR. So, I didn't know that's what she was going up there to grab. So she went upstairs to grab the AR. She's like, you're not leaving out of here.
All right. So I see it's a man right there, first of all. Secondly, she got a whole extended clip on that joint. What's going on? What's happening? What kind of nonsense is this? Listen, bro. All right, it's a couple red flags here. Number one, first red flag, never answer an ad to go and get your hair done at somebody's house that you don't know. Let me say that again for the people in the back. We too grown for this. We're way too grown. If that's not, see, I understand like being in college, getting your hair cut, being 20, 30 years old, going to get your hair cut at your homeboy's house or something like that. Cool, I'm with it. I'm with it. I'm 100% with it. I'm not going on Facebook or Instagram and answering an ad for discounted getting your hair done at somebody's crib. I'm not going to know, but I'm too grown. This is not the 90s. I'm not getting my hair cut, hair done, line up. I'm not going to nobody's house ever. Ever. under no circumstances. You pulling up and you going into somebody's unidentified house, man. I don't know nothing about this house. I don't know if they got bed bugs. I don't know if you got roaches. I don't know if you got a crazy, they trapping out the back. I don't know if it's a setup. I don't know what's going on. I'm not going over your house to get no services. Bro, I won't even take my car. You know how they used to do back in the hood, and they had the hood dude that would work on cars? Them days is over, bro. It's over. You're going to have a shop. You're going to have something. If you don't have a place to professionally do business out of, there's nothing for us to talk about at all. If I go to do an interview and if I pull up and it's got to be somebody's crib, I'll be thinking, You got to have a location. You got to have a location. I'm just like the stars. I'm just like this, for real, straight up. All of this, that's been over. That's been dead a long time ago. So that's number one. All right. Number two, what the hell is happening here? Y'all arguing over $5, $10? $5, $10? Yo, you can have it. Yo, I will give you the money just to be getting out of here, and I ain't got a deal. I'm going to pay you to leave. Storefronts, that's a fact. Warehouses, that's a fact. I'm getting up out of there, bro. I'm not about to go back and forth and arguing with you over $10, waiting for you to go upstairs and go and get the... It's a man. This is a man that's in this image right here, right? You telling me that he cool with you going upstairs? This is the ghetto. This is the hood. This is straight up hood activity, hood behavior. At some point, y'all gonna have to normalize being too grown for certain things and too classy, too sophisticated, and too rich to be doing certain things. You know how when people say stuff like, oh, you think you bougie or you think you better than everybody else? It's not that I'm better than you. I'm better than this situation. I'm better than this situation. I'll occasionally go to the local Coney and go and pick something up in the daytime. I'm not about to be out here the same way that we used to be out here. It ain't the same no more. It probably wasn't good back then, but we didn't know no better. But now that I know better, I'm not pulling up to 8 times. Somebody hit me with this. They hit me with this when I got back in town. Hey man, I'm having a little get together, a little party. And they sent me the flyer on Instagram. They DM me the flyer. I said, nigga, this ain't the 90s. I'm not pulling up at your spot. You think I'm about to pull up at your hood spot? Man, get the fuck out of here, bro. Just like old times. Nope. This ain't old times. I'm different now. I'm grown. I got things to live for. I'm not coming to your spot. I don't know who's going to be there. Ain't no security. This ain't no sanctioned event. Nah, you good, bro. But I don't say that. I just be like, all right, I hear you. All right, I feel you, big dog. Y'all getting.
Until you run me my money. So I did just that, and she's still going on and on about it.
And why hold on. Why is girls, is this what it's come to? Is this what it's come? Women are out here running around with the ooh-wop shebang? Are women running around with the ooh-wop shebang? Women are the new men, bro. Women are the new men. I'm telling you, bro, women are more masculine than ever before. Y'all running around, y'all not like the girls that I know, they don't even like guns, but you force them, right? Hey, listen, it's a different time. I got to take you to the gun range. I want it. First time that they should, oh my God, I'm scared of guns. But then they have to have one, so they learn to adjust, and they learn to just have one inside of their little pocketbook or whatever like that. They had them a little small pistol or something like that. You got to force them. They hate guns. These hoes out here today, and it's the difference between a hoe and a woman. These hoes out here today is running up and grabbing a whole joint. Yo, what is wrong with women? What's up with women? Y'all don't have no femininity to y'all no more? You don't know how to come into the house and be quiet? You don't know how to chill? You don't know how to relax? I'm asking, are the women today, because I don't know these type of women, are the women today? It was one girl that was talking, and she said something. She was getting a little mouthy, and I was like, looked at her, and we just walked away. The whole group just walked away. She said, where y'all going? We said, oh, we don't deal with this type of nonsense. We're not used to this. I'm pretty sure that she used to arguing with somebody that's going to go back and forth with her. That's not what we do. We walk away. We cut you off completely. Sitting there arguing, talking back and forth. I'll send you home so fast. I'll get you up out of there. I'll get you the fuck home. Yeah, you're right. I agree with you. You ready to go? No ride home, no nothing. Get you an Uber. You ain't getting no black truck, no nothing. You get the regular Uber X home, never to be heard from again. Y'all got women pulling guns out on y'all, talking back and forth, arguing with them. I done been on coaching calls with guys that say, yeah, man, my girl, she was, and I can hear her in the background. I say, who was that? What about? Is that a TV? Y'all arguing, y'all getting into whole arguments, knock down, drag down fights. The fuck doing that? Get this, man, y'all better get these women. I don't know these. I don't know. Harpo, who the hoe? Who are these women?
Money, so I did just that, and she's still going on and on about it. I want more money. I want more money. So I'm just like, here, just take it. I gave her basically everything that I had.
Big gun, hoe! Yep. Big gun! Big gun! Out my house! And it say, I'll shoot you! Don't do that. Come on, bro.
I'm just distraught right now because she did all of this for what, when we could have just simply just handled it, like adults. I mean, she said, I will shoot you. I will bury you over $10. She was saying that. Yeah, she said, I will bury you over $10. So we pushed past her. We had to get
this a kid right there
out of there.
These are the environments that the kids is getting raised in.
I will bury you over $10.
You see little so kitty right there? Hey, and then the boys grow up in these type of homes, and then y'all wonder why ain't no good men out here. Y'all raising them this way. You're raising them to be monsters. This is what they're witnessing every single day. What, you think this the first time that she done got out of line? You think that's the first time that the kid that never seen a gun? They grow up looking at this type of stuff, and then we try to blame the white man. Oh, it ain't the white man, it's you. It's you. All the kids can't focus in school. Well, they mama pulling out guns on people that they don't even know that's coming in and out of their house after they get done doing hair. Oh man, the teachers ain't teaching our kids. The kids can't focus no more. Well, guess what? They stomach growling, and all they had was a bunch of sugar, and then they had a sugar crash. You won't let them go outside. The iPad is teaching them. You don't know math. You can't help them with their homework, and now you forcing a teacher to be an overglorified babysitter. This is what's wrong with the culture. This is what's wrong with the culture. This right here is exactly what's wrong with the culture. Then they'd come on my live stream and try to tell me how I ain't. Man, get the fuck up out of here, bro. This is crazy. Baby daddy's coming through.
Faster. We had to get out of there.
Okay, so after this whole thing, Robin and her boyfriend and her daughter went to the police department, one of the precincts, and filed a report, showed that video, not the part that we showed you, but the actual face of the woman, showed the police the video of the woman, told them where she was located, filed a report, and she said she's really hoping, she wants to tell this story, but she really hopes that people learn from it and hopes that this will not happen to them. Of course, it's going to be interesting to see if police do arrest this woman, this hairdresser, and to see what happens next. Reporting live in Detroit, Camila Mary, Fox 2 News.
He says it's the government underfunding communities that need it most. Y'all don't need no more money. Y'all need home fucking training. Government ain't underfunding nothing. You don't need not another dime, and it ain't got nothing to do with the government of whether or not you're going to act like you got some sense and pull guns out on people. What is you talking about? It's the government underfunding the people. What?
I mean, the difficulty of these kind of home offices, so to speak, when you're doing business out of your home, it poses obviously kind of a
He said home offices.
Precarious situation, not just for the person working in the home in some cases, but also customers.
Yeah, and you know, the thing is that the gun, I mean, you saw it in the photograph, right? It looks real. Yeah. Some of the comments on social media, they're saying that this is a pellet gun. Robin says she doesn't care what it was. When she had a gun pointed to her, that's all she could think was that it was real. So a lot more to come on this one. Root back.
There's plenty of communities that's poor as fuck, and they don't have this type of problem. Go over to Hamtramck in Detroit. Hamtramck is a completely different environment than Highland Park. Hamtramck is 2 cities inside of Detroit. Two cities inside of Detroit, right? 2 cities inside of Detroit. You got Hamtramck, you see it? So all of this is Detroit right here. All of this is Detroit. All right. This whole outside of, well, Dearborn, not Grosse Pointe, but most of this is Detroit. All right. Part of what you see in Detroit is you'll see as you go out to the outskirts, because we down here in downtown Detroit. This is where we are right here. All right. We downtown. We in here. This is where we at. This is where you see all of the stuff at. This is where the bridge between Canada and the United States right here. This is a bridge right here. And so when we overlook in the water and we go to Huntington Place, this is where all of the auto show is and shit like that. And when y'all see me walking up and down Woodward, the first paved road, this is where y'all see me at. This is where the sugar factory is, and you know, Little Caesars Arena. This is where the Pistons play. Comerica Park, all of that. That's right there. This is where Little Caesars Arena is. This is Comerica Park. Right across the street, you have Ford Field, right? So this is where the Tigers, the Lions, the Red Wings, and the Pistons, they all within a stone's throw of each other. They all literally right up the street. Little Caesars Arena is right here. Comerica Park, Ford Field. Now, you get a little bit further outside of the city. Of course, you got Eastern Market, Midtown. Midtown is dope. Midtown is really, really awesome. It's a lot of dope stuff around here. You got the hospitals. You got Wayne State University. It's a lot of stuff. Tech Town, Chinatown, all of that. You start passing the North End. Inside of the city of Detroit, you got Highland Park. This is where Menjo's is at. Menjo's is the gay club for men. It's crazy. Highland Park is insane, big dog. Palmer Park is wild. Palmer Park is supposed to be really, really dope. It's actually improved a lot. Now it's really, really good. But it's a mixed bag because Sherwood Forest is where you have one of the most prestigious neighborhoods. You got the Boston Edison district. Some of the biggest homes in the city is in the Boston Edison district. One of the biggest homes in the city is in Sherwood Forest. But you got this small pocket of a city right here called Highland Park. Highland Park is wild. It is absolutely insane. But then you also got Hamtramck, right? And a lot of people don't even realize that Hamtramck is a city within a city also, right? It's a city within a city also. The Hamtramck don't give you the same. So you got Highland Park over here. And then you got Hamtramck right here. Hamtramck is a relative immigrant community, but they don't have a lot of money either. Now you can see the Al Haramain foods and all of this other stuff. They don't be dealing with that nonsense over there. They don't have a lot of money. They're not running up a bag or any of that type of stuff. The Yemen Cafe, but they don't have the same energy over in Hamtramck as they do over in Highland Park. And that's what I'm saying, man. Like, just because you don't have money, and I'm tired of people trying to make an excuse and trying to act like, oh, it's because they're not pouring enough community. Nah. Somebody said show the trailer park. Ain't no trailer parks in the inner city that I know of. Just because you don't have resources don't mean that you got to act like you a fool. Let me show y'all some of this. So this is kind of an idea of what it's like in the city. A lot of people don't really understand what it's like in the city. So Joe Louis Arena used to be down here. That's where they used to play hockey. Now they play at Little Caesars Arena. We got a long ass river walk because you got this long ass divide between Canada and Detroit. This is Belle Isle. Belle Isle has an island. Remember where I say everybody used to go to Belle Isle and used to park their cars and party and shit? This is Belle Isle. So Belle Isle has this island right here that is in Detroit where you got basketball courts, you got an outdoor garden, but this is a whole island that you can drive around and have a good time, right? So this is the bridge to go to Belle Isle, right? Jefferson, you always used to you take 7 Mile down to the lodge down to Jefferson to Belle Isle, right? But this is Detroit right here. Campus Marshes Park. Let me drop the little man over here so y'all can see what's happening. This is Detroit, all right? This is what it looked like downtown Detroit. It's dope. Then you go at Woolworth. My office is down here. This is where the new Hudson's building is. So this is going to be this is where they built the new Hudson's building. This is where it's going to be this is a hotel, the Edison Hotel. And at the very top is where they're going to have the condos. So it's going to be, you're going to be able to buy condos at the very top. And then this is where GM's new headquarters is right here. So you go into this entrance, they need to update this. And this is where they have all of the cars displayed and all of this other stuff, right? Then you go further down. This is the Shinola Hotel. This is a very, very dope hotel. This is where the Gucci store is down that street. And then you go further down Woodward. That's an H&M. It's a Nike store that's over there. A Lululemon, WeWork, everything like that. Then you go further. And this is where Comerica Park is, right down there. There's the Opera House, Comerica Park, or actually that's Ford Field down there. This is Comerica Park up here. So this is where the Detroit Tigers play. Little Caesars Arena, the Fillmore. They just built the new bank right here, a Huntington Bank. And this is where the Q Line also runs. So this is the Fox Theater, where they also built the new Little Caesars headquarters right there. This is actually over here. This is where Mom Spaghetti is. So you know where the M&M spot is? Where they say, all men is Mom Spaghetti is right here. It's in the alley. So you usually see people lined up across the street or down the alley in the Fillmore to go to Mom Spaghetti, which is right here. All right? So when people say, where's M&M spot? That's where it is. This is the Hockey Town Cafe where people party after going to a Red Wings game. But again, Comerica Park is over there. This is the stops where they get the Q line. The Q line is completely free. St. John's Baptist Church is right there, and then that's where Little Caesars Arena is. Whoa, I didn't jump on the freeway. Get me off the fucking freeway. So they're actually going to tear down 375 and make this all Greenway. But that's a whole nother conversation. Little Caesars Arena is right here. This is where the Pistons and the Red Wings play. Google has a place inside of there. There's several different companies that have a place inside of there. That's the Q line right there. So it's a train and free public transportation right here that runs up and down Woodward, so you don't have to park downtown in order to be able to get around. You can walk. It's much better. And all of this is new. This middle path, Mike Ilitch School of Business. This is next to Little Caesars Arena. Mike Ilitch School of Business is a part of Wayne State. That's where you see that right there. So they got several different buildings and several different campuses. Mike Ilitch was the father that owned the Red Wings and the Detroit Tigers. And then you go further down. This is a satellite campus for, let me go back here. I ain't gonna go there. So all of this is new. All of these apartments over here is new. They got a Whole Foods down the street. This is where Whole Foods are over here. And if you go further down Woodward, I actually got my office is actually a little bit down here. So my office is down here. The DMC hospitals, so on and so forth. But the further you go, so let's say you go over to Highland Park. Oh, Lord. If you go over to Highland Park, you're going to start seeing niggas like this. Hold on. Niggas that ain't got no shirt on right here. You know what I'm saying? Appliance stores, graffiti. It's fucked up. Just keeping it 100 with you. It's fucked up. This is the stuff that you're going to start to see. Shit like this. And you going through Highland Park to get back to the other side of Detroit. This is not Detroit. This is Highland Park. But then, let's say, for example, you get through Highland Park, right? You'll start see it start getting better again. So this is the end of Highland Park. The end of Highland Park is a place that says Playground After Dark. That's the end of Highland Park right there. And then that's when you'll start to get back into the city. So let's say you want to get back into the city. Now you're going to start seeing parks, buildings. The streets is going to start getting back paved. You're going to start seeing trees again. And this is back into the city of Detroit. And then you'll go up 7 Mile. This is back to Detroit. This is Detroit again. So let's say you'll go past Dutch Girl Donuts. We used to go to Dutch Girl Donuts every morning before we went to school or whatever. And you'll actually go up 7 Mile. And then you'll land in Sherwood Forest. And this is Sherwood Forest right up the street. And this is what the neighborhood looks like. This is in Detroit. These are what the houses look like in Sherwood Forest. Beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. This is where the old Detroit Pistons used to live. John Sally, all of them. John Sally had a mansion in Sherwood Forest. And this is right on 7 Mile and Livernois. These are what the houses look like. All of them is brick. All of it is historic. None of that cookie cutter bullshit. It's gorgeous. It's absolutely beautiful. So if I was to buy a house in Detroit, the first place that I would look in is Sherwood Forest. Let me show you where my grandmother lived. My grandmother lived in Sherwood Forest, and I used to go over her house all the time. We used to walk there. My homeboy used to live over here, and then my grandmother used that. I think it was something Berkeley. I forgot what the actual address is. So you go down Cambridge. I thought about trying to buy her house. So this is where my grandmother lived. Off Berkeley. And then you would go down. I remember all of the neighbors and everything. That was her house right there. That's where my grandmother lived right there. On Berkeley. That's what the houses look like. They're gorgeous. They're beautiful. Everything is absolutely gorgeous. The neighborhood is nice. It's quiet. It's tree lined. All of the houses are brick. I used to love riding my bike through here. And this is what Detroit was. Or this is what, it's actually a lot better now. Everything is back to normal now, but. And then you would head out to 7 Mile. And so this is 7 Mile now. At 7 Mile, you head up the street. And this is the Avenue of Fashion. This is what 7 Mile looks like, 7 Mile Livernois. It's dope. And Detroit is the blackest city in the United States of America. That's one of the things that people don't know. It's the blackest city in the United States of America. So, yep, that is 7 Mile. Somebody said, where's 8 Mile? It's right up the street. So 6 Mile is that way, which is McNichols. And 7 Mile is this way. So this is 7 Mile Livernois, or this is a little bit past 7 Mile Livernois. You can see how busy it is. It be popping. Cuzzo's Chicken and Waffles was right here. It's a lot of cafes. It's a lot of stuff over here. This is Outer Drive. Outer Drive has got some really beautiful homes too. So you go up Outer Drive. It's a two-way street. Right? This is Outer Drive. The homes ain't like in Sherwood Forest, but it's a really, really nice neighborhood. This is a dope space that y'all can go and, get something to eat to. And you keep going down. This is Sherwood Noni. So this is where we used to go and get our Coney Island right here. But they changed it to Sherwood Noni. It used to be Sherwood Forest, Coney Island. Keep going down 7 Mile. Livernois. And then eventually you're running an 8 Mile. It's the post office. See, remember when people was asking me about Baker's? This is Baker's. This is a jazz club right here. One of the best jazz clubs to go and actually hear music. And then this is 8 Mile right here. This corridor is 8 Mile. And when you cross over to 8 Mile, that's when you head over to Ferndale. And that's the Wendy's that I showed y'all the other day. And this is 8 Mile. And so you go up 8 Mile, and 8 Mile is the dividing line between Detroit, and you start to move over into Oakland County. So there you are. That's 8 Mile. So it's nothing like they show it on the movies. It's completely different than what they show on the movies. Anyways, I don't know how I got derailed into this, but there you go. We got derailed. The Millionaire Derailment Show. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let me see what y'all talking about inside of the chat. Oh, I got to acknowledge the Cash App. I'm sorry. Sorry for the derailment. That's what happens when you ain't got no job. You can just kind of do. We got derailed because of the hair appointment. Shout out to Ryan Reed for the coffee. I appreciate you for the $5. My dog, Mike That Dude. Thank you, Mike That Dude, for holding me down. Thank you. I personally know the hairstylist in this situation. Her name is Justice, and there's key details missing from this story. Well, listen, when you start pulling out a gun on people, the people don't care about your details anymore. That's the part that you're missing. It doesn't matter. Once you crash out and you start pulling out guns on people, people don't care about your story anymore. Keeping it 100 with you. Justin Mapson says, yeah, the days of just supporting business just because you look like me are over. Facts. Flyer parties are terrible. I'm not going to a party with MLK on a flyer with some buffs on. Top Notch Crocker says, AD, good morning. My brother and your girl Tiffany Henyard is back in politics, but this time her new location is in an ATL. Y'all was telling me that y'all wanted me to check this out. All right, let's find out about Tiffany Henyard. No more Detroit tours. Let's see. Tiffany Henyard. I see a lot of people reacting to it.
Investigates has learned Tiffany Henyard is not done with politics just yet. The former South suburban politician has moved to Georgia and appears to be running for office there. The local board of elections says Tiffany A. Henyard has qualified to run for a district commissioner's job in Fulton County. Henyard did not respond to a request for comment, though. The county includes Atlanta and surrounding suburbs. The longtime Democrat is running as a Republican, will not face any opponents in the primary. The district is heavily Democratic, and 4 candidates are vying for that nomination.
This is somebody who hasn't had much of a chance to establish roots, and she's going to be running against people who have far deeper roots in the community. And so that might actually end up being what is her undoing. It might not be because of her scandalous past, but it may be she hasn't lived long enough in this district.
And there are also questions about whether Henyard has lived in Georgia long enough to hold office. Also today, Henyard lost a $10,000 judgment in a rent dispute with her former landlord back in Dalton. You can read all about it at WGNTV.com.
So basically, her play, when she knew that she had lost over in Dalton, Illinois, Yo, that has to be a hell of a drop. That has to be a hell of a drop. To go from making almost $300,000 a year and basically being able to live off of a credit card to now being in a space where you basically is forced to move to a completely different state so that you can try to reestablish roots. To go from making $300,000 a year and to seeing the writing on the wall to eventually saying, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and just try to figure it out or whatever, so on and so forth, and move to somewhere else. It's crazy, bro. It is insane. But I guess this was the play. This was the play. I was always wondering what she was going to do.
He is hoping for a comeback. I'm WGN-TV investigative reporter Ben Bradley. Henyard is attempting to resuscitate her political career 700 miles away in Atlanta, where she has apparently secured a spot on the ballot for district commissioner on the Fulton County Board. For those of you who don't remember the long, strange saga of Tiffany Henyard's reign in the South suburbs, here's a quick refresher. She flew first class, wined and dined on the taxpayer dime. She had a questionable cancer charity. Corruption claims dogged her to the point the FBI served subpoenas. While she hasn't been charged with wrongdoing, she did not take it particularly well whenever anyone would question her.
Y'all are black, and y'all sitting up here beating and attacking on a black woman that's in power. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves.
Dalton voters drummed her out of office early last year. 88% voted against her. She was a Democrat back then, and now she's running as a Republican. And because there's no competition in the primary, that clears the way for her to be on the general election ballot in November. We rang up a political science professor from Emory University in Atlanta. She said Henyard's bid is a long shot.
This is somebody who hasn't had much of a chance to establish roots. And she's going to be running against people who have far deeper roots in the community. And so that might actually end up being what is her undoing. It might not be because of her scandalous past, but it may be she hasn't lived long enough in this district.
Georgia election records show that Henyard registered to vote down there on February 27th, just 2 days after voters gave her the boot in Dalton. That means even if she's elected in Georgia, she may not meet the year residency requirement. Henyard did not respond to my request for comment, but that may be because she knew we were also calling about this. A judgment entered today by a Cook County court. A judge ordered Henyard and her boyfriend to pay their old landlord in Dalton $10,000. She's accused of stiffing the landlord on rent and causing property damage before they left town. For more of our reporting, go to
if you running in a heavily Democrat area, like over in Fulton County, it doesn't even matter whether or not they actually think that she's qualified to run or if she's not qualified to run. It's very difficult, very, very hard for you to break through in a county where most people are voting Democrat regardless. If you in a predominantly black area, Fani Willis was able to maintain her seat simply because she had clout, she had visibility, she aligned herself with the black church. And regardless of how corrupt she was or how much that she was lying or whatever it was that was going on with her little boyfriend and stuff like that, it doesn't even matter because people that turn out that way, people that do turn out, and most of the time, let me give y'all a little bit of secret. Most of the time, the people that show up to vote in those places, they are older people. When I think one of the biggest mistakes that politicians make on a local level is that they try to appear or to appeal to the younger crowd. The younger crowd doesn't matter, especially when you're talking about black people. The younger crowd does not matter. They don't engage. They don't vote. They don't give a fuck. They don't participate in local politics. They may. It's a small possibility. You got a 25% chance that they actually gonna get out and vote in a national election, which could affect the local election depending on when your election aligns. If it aligns with the national election, then you might have a chance to be able to make an impact with younger people. But when you're talking about the Black demographic in most urban areas, you hard pressed to find anybody that is younger than the age of 35, 40 that actually engages in the election process. That's not heavy assumptions. That's the truth. And if you go into most areas, most urban areas, if you actually talk to young people, see, you talking to a person that has been on the streets talking to people in person. They don't care. They do not engage. The people that show up to the polls are older Black people. The ones that do show up tend to be older Black people. And those people are hardened in their hearts. They set in their ways. And you'll be, listen, you're better off. You'd be better off finding a 50-year-old female Black virgin than you are finding a Black person, an older Black person that's going to help you get elected on the Republican ticket in a primary Democratic area that's urban. You better off trying to find you a woman that you're going to marry with no kids that ain't got no generational trauma that's above the age of 50 than you are to find Black people that will help you get elected in a primarily urban area that's younger than the age of 40. Listen. If you tell them that, Cardi B is coming to town, Young Miami Cardi B and Lil Kim and B2K is going to be on the same ticket, the motherfuckers is going to show out. Millennium Tour, they there. We got this new election that's coming up that's going to affect with your property taxes. Oh, man, man? Don't nobody care about that. Ain't nobody tripping off that. If it's a concert or if they opening up a new hair store or if they selling new eyelashes or something like that, they might turn out. They're going to come out in droves. If it's Magic City night at the Atlanta Hawks, everybody going to be vying for a ticket. They're going to kill for a ticket. If it's a new brunch spot that Keith Lee ain't visited yet, they're going to be there. Trying to figure out who's going to be your next election official? Fuck. Good luck. A library drive? Good luck. Now, if you're giving away free gas, you might get it. But all of it, actually trying to appeal to people, if it's a Jordan 5 Wolf Gray drop, you in there, lying around the block. We got to go and get our kids some books so that they can go to school tomorrow. Good luck. Good luck. Only way they're going to get people to vote is if you're passing out gas cards. Is if you're passing out gas cards at the polls. Then they'll show up. If you're not passing out gas cards, boy, you're going to be hard pressed. Good luck. NBA YoungBoy concert, sold out. Election results, man, don't nobody care about that. That don't matter. What? People will argue with me, just coming from the NBA YoungBoy concert, they'll argue with me that elections don't matter. Keep it at 100. T.I. versus 50 said, oh my God, everybody, let's talk about it. They can tell you every goat shot it. It's your birthday. Bring them out, bring them out. It's hard to yell when the barrel's in your mouth. Swizzy. TIP. They know every beef. They know every meme. They know every single thing that's happening in the culture. But if you ask them, hey, man, who's representing you in Congress? Did you reach out to your congressman? Because they saying that they want to actually eliminate property taxes and that'll help you have more affordable rent. Man, fuck the government, bro. Dog, don't you know that they don't care about us Black people? Yeah, but listen, they talking about the funding for y'all schools so that y'all be able to retain teachers and ensure that your kids will have a conducive place to learn and they got a ballot on the measure to make sure that ain't nobody, that women's sports is, man, fuck that, bro. But don't you got young kids? Yeah, man, I don't care nothing about that, man. They don't care about us. They gonna do what they gonna do anyway. It's all up to the system. It's the system's fault. In that instance, what do you say? You know what? You right. You right. I agree with you. TIP and live from the VIP with the night like TIP. Bring them out. Bring them out. Hey, Tom, you see? Look, hey, Tom, you see that new 50 Cent? 50 Cent meme? Dog, he dropped with Max B. Man, that song is crazy, man. Y'all got to check it out. Y'all got to talk about that shit on After Hours. Then I try to throw a little bit of education in there. All right, guys, so we're going to talk about the latest election results because, man, what's happening in New York is crazy. That stuff is starting to sweep the nation, and it's going to influence. Man, why don't you talk about something that people really want to engage with? You know what? You right. Then that's when I just go ahead and give in to the culture and say, all right, y'all, so Dak Prescott is getting divorced. Now, how does Dak Prescott getting divorced add any value into my life? But it's the thing that people want to talk about, so it's the thing that I'm going to give to people. It's the thing. People want to hear celebrity news. Hey, guys, let's talk about Saks Fifth closing because it's going to be an opportunity for entrepreneurs to get back into the game. Boo! Boo! Then I reluctantly go, all right, Tasha K said, yeah, you should open up the lines, Anton, so that we can call me in. So I got to try to keep a balance. By the way, Patreon live stream is going to be on Friday, all right? I'll give y'all more inside information on that. You know what I'm saying? Dog, did you see about Glorilla's sister? Her name is Glorilla. She said she ain't coming back to help the family, man. What you think about that? And then I gotta act like I'm interested. Yeah, look at this woman. She crazy. She complaining on the internet. Like, good God. But this is the world that we live in. We live in an entertainment sector. If she links up with Fonnie Willis, they will find money to get her back on track to that 300,000. I'll protest that. Hell no, we won't go. Lante Network says, I support Tiffany Henyard's Republican run. Welcome to the GOP. She's strong, confident, goal-driven, and willing to take the risk to win. Self-preservation. I remember when Chris Brown came to town during the Detroit mayoral primary. It was more standing in line at that concert than at the polls. Talk about it. That's a fact. P. Shank says, good morning, Anton Daniels. What up, P. Shank? Somebody said voting is sucker-ish, says Big Boy. That's unfortunate. Manny Plays PC says, good morning, Anton. Did you hear that Mom Donnie is looking to add parking meters to residential areas? I can look into it. You want me to look into it? I'll hold on to that. Justin Mabson says, I support rebranding in most cases, but the timing of crossing the aisles matter. Being ahead of the curve is always more attractive than seem to just be following the trend. Well, it's a play. They're looking at it as a money play. We'll jump around. You said Mom Donnie. Let's see what we got. Mom Donnie. Yeah, I heard about this little terror attack thing too.
The protesters who...
Hello? Yes, this is Anton. What's going on? I'm all right. Okay. Is he decent though? Okay. Well, as long as everything is going the way it's supposed to go. Okay. That's not. I'm not being charged for that though, right? Okay. Cool. Sounds good. Thank you. Thank you. Bye. I'm gonna read that Cash App shortly. All right, y'all. AD, I'll give you 3K if you're able to flip it for me, bro. Flip what? What you want me to flip? Let's talk about Mom Donnie real quick. We're going to go over a couple different things that I seen with Mom Donnie.
Investigators say went to Gracie Mansion armed with IEDs, created political problems for a fledgling mayor who has been struggling to define his views on the rights of people who dissent and the proper response from the NYPD.
Political reporter Marcia Kramer joins us now with that part of the story today. Marcia?
Okay. Wait, you want me to flip your money, like make you money with your money? All right, let me I'm gonna start this over. I gotta start this over. But let me say this before let me answer this super chat really quickly. He says, AD, if I give you 3K, you able to flip it for me, bro? Answer is absolutely not. Absolutely not. First of all, let me say this. I show people what they can do with their own money. So you got to learn how to do it yourself. That's number one. Number two, I don't believe in handling other people's money. All right. So I'm never going to be responsible for your money. But let's say hypothetically, that I decided that I wanted to do a manager's thing to where I was managing resources and ultimately making investments and stuff like that. It would have to be an entry fee of no less than minimum $20,000 per person. I wouldn't even fuck with $3,000. I'm telling you the honest. I'm being honest. This is why I'm not gonna waste my time. I would never waste my time. I would not fuck with $3,000. And it's not that it's not meaningful for you. But what I'm saying is that it would never be worth it for me. Because the things that I would need to purchase and the investments that I would be making, first of all, you would be required to leave it in for at least the next 5 years. The second thing is the amount of investments that I would have to make in order for it to be worth my while to manage a fund, it would have to be in the millions. It would have to be in the millions. So what you can do is there's a $14 tier in the Patreon. Make sure you tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. And you can subscribe to the Patreon and you can learn for yourself on how to make strategic investments, not flip money. Am I able to turn your money into more money? Absolutely. Would I ever even be interested in messing with your money? No. I don't care if you got $1 million, bro. I'm not interested in messing with nobody else's money. I am not interested in messing with somebody else's money. It doesn't matter what it is. It don't matter if it's $1 million, $2 million. If I was interested in doing it, it would have to be a lot. But I'm absolutely, positively not interested in messing with somebody else's money. I don't care how much it is. I'd rather spend time messing with my own money. Q executive MLE says, will Tiffany Henyard be the Republican Jasmine Crockett? Imagine Tiffany pulling up to a press conference like Nino Brown talking about say that. Yeah, that's pretty funny. That's pretty interesting. Yeah, and you need to learn how to invest your money, and then you need to dollar cost average it, right? It's not about the amount. It's about you developing the wherewithal to do the right thing on a regular basis. Let's get into Mom Donnie.
Two investigators say went to Gracie Mansion armed with IEDs, created political problems for a fledgling mayor who has been struggling to define his views on the rights of people who dissent and the proper response from the NYPD.
Political reporter Marcia Kramer joins us now with that part of the story today. Marcia.
Okay, Jay and Jess, the IEDs never actually exploded, but in the wake of Snowballgate and the belief by many members of law enforcement that Zohran Mamdani's support of the NYPD is tepid, the incident ignited another round of questions about whether the mayor is really NYPD blue.
I want to commend the officers who were on site. They faced a chaotic situation that very quickly could have become far more dangerous.
Mayor Mamdani's first public comments about the protest at Gracie Mansion Saturday that led to the arrest of two men from Pennsylvania armed with IEDs was in many respects, some say, a calculated public relations performance to show support for an agency he has decried in the past. In addition to standing with the police commissioner, he had NYPD Chief Aaron Edwards and Sergeant Luis Navarro front and center as he praised
officers who responded without hesitation. That is courage, that is selflessness. And I'm deeply grateful to both of them and to every member of the NYPD who.
If you have to do this, if you have to actually get the NYPD to stand with you and get basically every ranking member, including the police chief, to do this, especially after you've lacked support for them when it came to the knife welding guy that tried to kill a police officer, when it comes to the funding of police officers, you trying to remove resources. He's been in office too short of a time, and there's been so much against him as far as him being against the police. The Snowball incident where he tried to make it seem like that nobody was meaningful and it's not a big deal. And, oh my God, these police officers getting assaulted by grown people and you trying to downplay the whole situation. This is a desperate attempt to try to show some form of solidarity with a police agency where police officers are fleeing as fast as they possibly can. As fast as they possibly can. And so he's basically trying to show solidarity, and the effort is falling flat on its face because anytime you got to try hard, that means it's not really what it is.
Works every single day to keep New Yorkers safe.
Mamdani is a mayor who is
y'all are about to tire of him. The fake smile, the posturing, all of that stuff. He about to wear out his welcome. Bad. When you're not authentic, when you keep on posturing, when you keep on being on the wrong side of history and the wrong side of each issue, people gonna fall out with you in a worse way. If New York City ever find a halfway decent, knowledgeable businessman candidate that ain't got no smut on his name, they gonna get him out of there ASAP. But y'all don't really have no options. Last election, you're dealing with a former governor that people are still sour on. Eric Adams, who had just went through all of his bullshit when it came to the Trump administration and it came to the Biden administration, wasn't a viable candidate.
Struggled to show support for the NYPD when officers were injured in a Washington.
And they had that white man. If you're a white man in New York, you're the enemy. If you're a white man in New York, you are the enema. You're the enemy. White men are the biggest enemies in liberal places in the United States of America. Liberals don't like white men until they get in trouble. Liberals don't want until you are in the deepest doo-doo that you can possibly get in, then they'll think about getting a white man in there. Same thing that happened in Houston happens in almost every single city. You don't suffer enough before you can start considering white people. White people in liberal places, unless you're gay, you're not hearing me. You're not hearing me. The only way that a white man can win in an incredibly liberal democratic place is that you have to have some form of sassiness. You got to be Jacob Frey in Minneapolis, bro. White men, they get no love. No love. It don't matter how qualified or unqualified you are. It doesn't matter. If you are a white man in America, you might as well throw on a white hood and cut the eyes out of that bitch. A heterosexual Christian white man, correct, is the enemy. That is the poster child for the devil for Democrats and liberals. I'm telling you, bro. I'm not even sure that you can get hired as a teacher, as a professor, as a heterosexual. The worst thing after that is a heterosexual white wife. Heterosexual white man, Christian white man. Heterosexual Christian white wife. Under that, heterosexual Christian black male Republican. Somebody said Gavin and Tim are they're not Republicans, they liberals, and they support gay everything. Thank you, Cortez. White male Christian heterosexual head of the devil to liberals. White woman Christian housewife conservative, the devil's wife. Black male Christian Republican conservative, coon. Who's at the top? Who's at the top? Middle-aged white woman that looks like a boy with a short haircut and is gay rights first, fuck ICE, and I hate Trump, white woman at the top. Y'all would think that it would be a black woman, right? But it's not. The reason why it's not a black woman is because they only use you. You're like, the white middle-aged women are the owners of the company, and you're just the endorsement. Black women are the poster child. You're the advertisement. So you're the person that's dunking. You LeBron James for white women liberals. Black women Democrats, liberals, are nothing more than the people that go on the posters so that you can support and engage with white women, middle-aged, raging liberals. They only like you because they can use you.
A snowball fight, and several people were arrested. The mayor dismissed it as just snow day exuberance. He's also struggled with the rights of protesters, canceling an executive order signed by Mayor Adams that set up protest perimeters after an ugly confrontation outside the Park East Synagogue. Experts say he has more work to do to convince cops he cares.
He's been mayor for more than 2 months now at this point. In those 2 months, what happened when police officers were attacked by snowballs? Nothing. What happened when an officer was injured by somebody? He went to the person that injured the officer at the hospital. He did not go to the police officer. He went to the party that injured the officer that was in the hospital. He is not showing support for the police officers.
It takes a long time to build trust, and it's very easy to destroy trust. So now he's rebuilding trust. And so let's see how the process goes. Trust was damaged with the snowball incident and with things he said prior to becoming mayor. So we'll see how it goes.
So do you think he still has to work to rebuild the trust of the NYPD?
Absolutely. I think he has to work to rebuild trust. I think this is a good step.
How you got to work to rebuild trust and you just got in the office? So dumb.
Is good news and bad news for Mayor Mamdani out of Albany. But as political reporter Marcia Kramer explains, the best news may be for transit riders.
The once impossible dream of free buses in New York City inched closer to reality when both houses of the legislature proposed pilot programs to test the feasibility of one of the mayor's biggest campaign promises.
We have the return of the free buses. The assembly included the return of the pilot of one free bus per borough. The Senate's language calls for an expansion of that program. So hopefully we'll be able to see that come back to make mass transit more affordable.
The mayor was thrilled with the proposals, even though they still have to be agreed to by the governor and by extension, the MTA.
This is a time when 1 in 5 New Yorkers are struggling to afford the cost of a Metro card, and their commitment in addressing that in partnership with the city is one that is not only incredibly encouraging, but also deeply appreciated.
What the mayor did not get was a commitment to tax people making $1 million or more, which would have raised $4 billion. Knowing the governor is against raising income taxes in an election year, lawmakers said they're willing to hit the 14,000 New Yorkers making over $5 million with higher taxes. Even that is generating a lot of heat for the governor. Raising New York's nation-leading taxes to support unaffordable spending is simply bad fiscal management.
That's true. It's 100% true.
Said Angel Ryan, president of the Citizens Budget Commission. Nassau County Executive Bruce Blakeman, Hochul's Republican gubernatorial opponent, put himself squarely in the no new taxes camp, saying it will drive people and corporations out of New York. Florida has more people, and their budget is half of New York. Raising taxes is a bad idea.
Ain't that crazy? Florida has more people, and their budget is half of New York.
Blakeman said.
Marcia, I guess the big question.
Now the problem is what? Can anybody tell me what the problem with this is? When you look here and you read that and you're seeing what you're seeing, what is the problem? What's the problem that New York is going to face? Well, let me try it. Let me do it better. You know what the problem is? You are a white man in New York City. And liberals don't like white men in New York City. They don't like them. That's the problem, is that you are white-haired, blue-eyed white man in New York City. So they don't want to hear from you, Bruce. If you're a white man in New York City, they don't want to hear from you. They don't care if it makes sense. They don't care if you got the money. They don't care about none of that. They don't care about what you think, Bruce. You know why? Because they've been trained to think that in this budget battle, and no matter how logical this statement is that we're reading right here, they don't want to hear it from a white man. And that's just the truth. Got nothing to do with logic, nothing to do with none of that stuff. There was something else that y'all was telling me about this. Said his wife got caught red-handed. Explosive devices. It was something else that we were supposed to talk about. Oh,
Is good news and bad.
that's not it. It was something else. I gotta find it. Give me a second. Where was it at? Where was it at?
The New York State Legislature taking a page out of Mayor Mamdani's playbook today with a new proposal to increase taxes on the wealthy. Fox 5's Morgan Mackay here now with a closer look at what they're calling for and how it compares to what Mamdani's asking for. Morgan.
Hey, Steve. So today, state Democrats in the state legislature are signaling that they're on board with the mayor's proposal to raise taxes on millionaires and corporations, but not quite at the level that the mayor has been pushing. Democrats in the state Senate and Assembly unveiling what's called one House budgets today. Now, these proposals are nothing new. Governor Kathy Hochul has rejected these tax hike proposals from the state legislature for the last several years and says she's going to do so again this year. But there is added pressure with Mayor Zohran Mamdani making these tax hikes a critical part of his own city budget. State Democrats, though, proposing hiking income taxes by around 0.5% on households making more than $5 million a year. Mamdani had been pushing to hike income taxes by 2 percentage points, or 51%, on households making more than $1 million a year. Lawmakers also proposing raising the city's corporate taxes close to 11%. Mamdani was pushing for 11.5%. We asked the mayor what sort of pressure these proposals put on the governor, who's made clear she's not going to be raising taxes this year.
I think all of this comes back to the partnership we're looking to build across all leadership in Albany, one that is already delivering for New Yorkers, and we are encouraged by the prospect of it continuing to do so over the course of the budget process.
So sort of avoiding the question there, but Mamdani has threatened to raise property taxes by 9.5% if state lawmakers don't raise taxes on millionaires and corporations this year. He said that raising taxes are the only way to fill the city's $5.4 billion budget gap. However, the city council today releasing their own economic forecast, which found almost $1.7 billion in additional revenue and possible savings. This money could help the city close the budget gap for this year and keep the city from dipping into reserves. But Mamdani throwing cold water on the proposal, saying these cuts will impact services. Here is Council Speaker Julie Menon and the mayor with more.
There are 12,000 vacancies from July to February 28th of this year that were budgeted for but never filled. Those are savings. So it's looking at that. It's looking at debt service and variable rates around debt service. It's going into the budget and finding those important areas of savings for 2026.
The current proposal that you're referring to would remove more than $1 billion from personnel budgets across.
You see what he's standing on? Child care for all. You know what that really was when he was making that announcement? Child care for illegal migrants, regardless of your immigration status. The problem with New York City, amongst many problems, but one of the problems, the reason why he can't get what he wants is because they're proposing to do more. And when you do more, it costs money. See, what people don't realize that thought that they was getting all of this free stuff is that free is really costing. It's just you don't know where the money is coming from. And so you automatically say, oh, man, well, yeah, we getting free. You're not getting free. You're getting taxed, or somebody is getting taxed on the other side. So his proposal is not only to try to close the budget gap, but the reason that one of the reasons why the budget is so high is because he's advocating for so many more free things to pay for from other people's pockets. So you robbing Peter to pay Paul. If you're going to give childcare free for all, you know that somebody got to get paid for that, right? So they're trying to throw another billion and another billion. So when he says stuff like, well, it's going to affect the services. Well, what he's really saying is it's going to affect my ability to deliver on my promises to give people what we proposed was free. Nothing is free. Not one thing is free in life. If a man come up to you and he said, hey, baby girl, you can stay with me for free. Oh, that's going to cost. That's definitely going to cost you. Hey, you know what? I'll make sure I take care of you for free. Oh, no. That costs. That costs. Oh, you thought that you was just so cute that whatever it was that he was going to do, it was just because you was a good person and you found you a good one. Oh, no. You got to pay for that on the back end. Ain't nothing free. Not one thing is free in this world. Because if you ain't paying for it, somebody else is. If you're not paying for it, somebody else is. Jen said hugs is free. No, it ain't. That costs energy. And you better be careful who you hug too, because you might have a demon jump on you. Somebody said literally in the back end. Oh no, that's the least of it. She was gonna give it up for free anyway. She was gonna bust it down for a real one. That was just a part of the package. The payment is gonna be it's gonna be a lot of other things. The payment is gonna be a lot of other things. Absolutely. I told y'all yesterday, I said, I don't understand these dudes out here that's paying for everything and they still got to get yelled at in their own household. That sounds crazy to me. That sounds insane to me. You giving this chick a place to live. You feeding her, you clothing her, you taking care of her runny nose kids that ain't yours. Man, if you don't put that girl out, the only way you're going to get some respect is if you put her out. The only way that you're going to listen. This is going to be an unpopular opinion, but we're going to go ahead and move on with the show. The only way that you're going to establish hierarchy in your own household that you pay for is you're going to have to let her suffer. You got to let her go, bro. You got to let her go. Because if she comes in with an entitlement, expecting everything to just be paid for, and she can still have a lot of say-so and what the fuck is going on, you got to let her suffer. Because women that have seen some shit, women that have went 50-50, women that just got left with a wet ass, they got a whole nother level of humility, a whole nother level of understanding. Women that had went out there and worked in corporate America and got home and their check was only $1,250 and their rent was $1,267, they got a whole nother different perspective. It's a woman right now that got put on a PIP somewhere in the United States of America. It's our commercial break. At 1 hour and 30 minutes, we got to do a commercial pitch. There's a woman right now, before we get to the rest of the show, there's a woman right now in the United States of America that just got put on a PIP, and she working her ass off, and she trying to get to work on time every day, and she got to wake up early, and she's sleep deprived, and she only getting 5 hours of sleep a night, and half of those 5 hours she be struggling to fall asleep, and she trying to figure this shit out, and she trying to figure out how she gonna make her rent, and she ain't contributed into her 401k, and she still got kids, and they trying to figure this shit out, and they tired, and they weave ain't on all the way that it's supposed to be, and she ain't took a bath in a while because she got to keep taking showers. You know what it does for a woman for her to be able to sit in the tub and soak and not have to worry about what time she got to be to work? There's a woman out here in the wild, plenty of them, but I'm gonna just say there's a woman. There's a woman that gotta go to work that's tired as fuck, and the job is making her ugly. You're not hearing me. You're not hearing me. The job is making her ugly, meaning that she can't be the woman that she wants to be because she got to let that job kick her ass. And so that's when they start to get a little bit more of a fupa. Why? Because they're stress eating. And they can't go to the gym the way that they want to because their body is too tired. It's not that they don't want to. It's not that they don't have it in them, but they're tired. They're tired. Exhausted. So she a little bit more fluffy around the sides because, not because that's what she want, but because she don't have the capacity to get, you know, the women that are the most feminine is the ones that get about 10 to 12 hours of sleep. Because they sleep for about 9 to 10 hours and they take about a 2-hour nap. Oh, they sleep, they burn calories and they sleep. They wake up, they don't have no black eyes, no fluffiness around their eyes, they don't look like raccoons because they ain't sleep deprived and all of this shit. You know what it do for a woman that done been suffering for a little bit. She out there in the warehouse kicking her ass. She's so tired of getting catcalled by niggas that ain't got no money. Hey, what's up, baby girl? Hey, what's up? When we gonna go to lunch? She tried to give him a chance. All right, well, where we gonna go to lunch at? What do you mean where we gonna go to lunch at? Wendy's is open. We only got a half hour. She's so tired of having half-hour lunch break. She got 2 15-minute lunch breaks and 1/2 hour. 2 15-minute lunch breaks and 1/2 hour. When she get home, her hair smells like plant. She working an overnight shift and she's not even nocturnal. She's exhausted. She's tired. She's broken. She don't have no help. You know what those type of women do? When a nigga come around, when you come around, and you paying for everything, she gonna be like, zip, lip. She is quiet as a church mouse. Oh, baby, you need me to make you, you know what? You don't even have to ask her. You don't have to ask her. You wasn't even looking to get nothing to eat that day. She already didn't make dinner. Babe, I made dinner just in case I don't make it home tonight. Do you know what it's like for a woman that be like, wait a minute, I don't have to go to work. Next thing you know, she floating through the air. Just chilling, floating like a butterfly. She don't even talk about herself no more. Everything she talk about is my man. My man, girl, my man wouldn't let me do that. You was just a feminist yesterday, but now your man ain't gonna let you do it. My man ain't gonna let me get into that, girl. I don't know what's wrong with him. He's so possessive. Yes, girl, he's so possessive. He always trying to control me. Mm-hmm. He always trying to control me. He not gonna let me go out there like that. Girl, no, not me. He always telling me what to do. Talking about I better be home when he get there. I gotta go. Then the little raggedy friends is like, you don't never be with us no more. I know, nigga, because she got a bath to take. Next thing you know, she start caring about your health. Babe, listen, I love you more than anything. I need you around for a long time. Start scheduling doctor's appointments and shit, making sure that you all healthy. She trying to keep you alive, nigga. She ain't trying to be out here without you. Oh no. That's how you see the women that be crying at the funerals, that be crying. Nigga, her life about it. Oh, she don't want to be on this earth without you. She knows what's out there. She seen what's out there. Ain't nothing but the devil out there. You seen what's out there? Oh, Lord. She not trying to be hanging out with these hoes. Nigga, she see what it's like out here. It's hard. It's hard. You know what I was telling them on the show yesterday? Life is hard. It's hard. It's hard. It's colder than a witch's tit. It's cold outside. It's colder than a witch's tit. When your brakes is rubbing together and your rotors you keep on, you won't get your brakes changed because your rotors need to be done, and all the lights look like a fucking Christmas tree on your dashboard, and the insurance is still due, and every month you pay it right at the 29th day, so it ain't 30 days overdue and you fuck up your credit. Yeah, nigga, it's hard out here. It's hard out here. It's hard out here. Let her go suffer. Let her go suffer for a little bit. She thinks she about to have a hot girl summer. She about to have a cold ass. Let her suffer. Let her go. Let her experience life as a grown woman. And you know what else she gonna find out? These niggas don't give a fuck about you either. Girl, he was love bombing me. Next thing you know, that nigga hate me. These niggas don't give a fuck about you. They ain't got no money to spend on you. They not tricking off on you. They not trying to make your life easier. They showed off for one day. That's all they had. That's all they had for you. They tricked off on you and they made it seem good. And that nigga was checking. He went to the bathroom. Not because he had to be, but because he had to check his bank account. He got to make sure that he got enough money to be able to pay that bill. He put everything he had. He made a Hail Mary pass so he can get some pussy that night. That's all he got. He can't take care of you. That nigga can't take care of himself. It's fucked up out here. You see what's behind me, though? You know what's behind me? It's a black couch back there. You could be my muse. Usually when I'm doing my live stream, I'm facing that way, but this time I got it that way. This is where we do our interviews. This is the muse couch. The other black couch is over there. We retired that one. That one, the other black couch is over there. You see that black couch? Right there. That's the other black couch right there. That's historic. That's a historical. This is the new one. This is the new joint right here. All right. Nice oval shape. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was your commercial break. So if you, too, are tired of living life on edge, month to month, check to check, impacted by what's going on in the economy, and you want to try to figure out how to get your life together, join the Bag Chasers. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat, where we are a community of people that's going in the direction that you're going in, and we definitely want to make sure that you're running up a bag. I'm going to teach you everything you need to know so that you're not out here with a wet ass, all right? And make sure that you tap into the Discord. The link to the Discord is in the description of any of the most recent videos, okay? All right. That's marble back there. See that? That's custom marble from floor to ceiling. Floor to ceiling marble. This ain't faux. This is real. This is real marble back there. All right. Read some of these super chats, get on with the show. Sometimes I got to give you all a public service announcement. This is because they saved his mansion. Shout out to J-Lo on the track. I appreciate you for the 20 ball, big dog. That note on liberals wasn't bad, AD. Y'all like that? I got Bumblebee. Y'all don't want to hear that. Y'all don't want to hear that. A Armor says, AD, did you hear that petition collectors in San Francisco were paying people $5 for signatures and even telling them what names to sign? I didn't hear that one. That's bad. Rilo, y'all got on Rilo's ass. Says Rilo, your chat just motivated me even more than I was. Signal to noise ratio 90% now. I will be a millionaire in 6 years and a billionaire in 20. Just watch. I like that. I like that. Creating a product / business, developing a skill that can outperform the stock market to me is way more invaluable than relying on it alone, chat people. We got a new bag chaser in the building, y'all. Make sure y'all give a round of applause for my dog, Rilo G. Oh, my God. Look at Crimson. And then Crimson put the happy eyes and And this up there says, greetings, oh Lord Anton, happy hump day. What's up, Crimson? What up, Crim? Creme de la creme? My girl Crimson in the building. I love Crimson. More Than Mellow says, let her go and grow up. My ex was complaining about me every day, and now she crying boo-hoo tears. Yeah, man, you got to let them go, bro. You have to let them be out there and participate. You know what I'm saying, Jenny? You know what I'm saying, Jenny? Says, thank you, AD, you the best uncle to all of it. Jenny, am I lying or am I telling the truth? Sure, he's rich. Me University says, sure, he's rich now because he saw all the shit, all of something. I'm not sure what that means. I don't even know what that means, but because I can't read the stars. All right, y'all, what we talking about next? We had Mom Donnie. Oh, Marjorie Taylor Greene. We got to go over Marjorie Taylor Greene. They're chasing seats in Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Some breaking news to
We
get.
got to go to the liberal news networks at some point. We can't just always just go straight to conservative news.
To right now in the Georgia special election to fill Marjorie Taylor Greene's former seat. With just over 50% of the vote in, NBC News can now project that the race for the 14th district will head to a runoff between Republican candidate Clay Fuller, who was endorsed by President Trump, and Democrat Sean Harris, who lost to Greene in 2024. That runoff is set for April 7th. Now remember, Greene resigned late last year after breaking with President Trump over several issues, including his handling of the Epstein files. I want to bring in NBC News correspondent Aaron Gilchrist, who's at Republican candidate Clay Fuller's camp right now. Aaron, the polls just closed, and we're already making this call. What's the reception to these results? And was this totally expected?
This is somewhat mostly what was expected here in Georgia's 14th congressional district. I'll tell you though, here in the room, it doesn't seem as though word has sort of trickled out to folks who have gathered for this watch party. They're continuing to watch results come in on the the Secretary of State, the Georgia Secretary of State's website. Clay Fuller is standing at the front of the room, just sort of mixing and mingling with folks. And so I don't know that they're looking at the numbers in the way that our team has been able to call it at this point. I will say again that this is the outcome that was largely expected. I talked to Clay Fuller earlier today, the obviously leading Republican candidate here. And he told me that he thought that this would end with a runoff between him and Sean Harris, the Democrat here who ran against Marjorie Taylor Greene in 2024, who also racked up about 35% of the vote in that election, running ahead, obviously, now with the numbers we're looking at of what he did in 2024. Clay Fuller, though, the candidate who was backed by President Trump in this race, felt confident coming into today that this would turn in his favor, at least among the 12 Republicans who were vying for the votes of their constituents here. Now, I point out the fact that there were 12 Republicans running in this special election, just to make note of the fact that there were a lot of people who were hoping to sort of place in this race, right? And that is what diluted some of the numbers and have put us in a position now where there's going to be a runoff. I also talked to Colton Moore, the second Republican you saw on the screen there, who effectively is in third place at this point. And he felt like the wind was at his back, that he had been out talking to voters, and it seemed as though there was a lot of excitement built around his campaign throughout the course of this election cycle. We know that he has been the one who's been a little bit more of a firebrand, a little bit more stylized in the way that President Trump presents. All of the candidates were staunch supporters of President Trump. Clay Fuller, obviously the only one who got the backing of the president. And he is going to be a candidate, I think, who continues to present in a way that's a little more mild-mannered, not quite in the style of Marjorie Taylor Greene, who used to represent this area, or in the style of President Trump, but still someone who got the president's endorsement. The president was here in Rome a few weeks ago. Clay Fuller was on stage with him and again got that verbal endorsement from.
Let me pivot for a second. Let me show this one right here.
for Miss Greene. I would prefer them to be honest and trustworthy.
I'm looking for someone who's willing to compromise and work with each other. That would be so nice to see if both Republican and Democrats could get their acts together and quit fussing among themselves and work together.
Getting somebody in there that will take care of the regular people. I'm not a Trump supporter. I'm not a Democrat supporter. I just think it's ridiculous that all this stuff's going on, and we need to come together.
No matter who it is, there's certain stuff you don't agree with Trump on. There's certain stuff it's like, just gonna say I support Trump doesn't mean I support every single thing he does. As of right now, he's doing a great job. He's definitely helping us a lot more than Biden did. I mean,
we've been at war so much. We have enough people here to take care of. I think we.
Voters in Georgia are testing President Trump's influence ahead of the midterm elections. They voted in a special election on Tuesday, and Chief Washington analyst Robert Costa is here with the results. So, Bob, take a look at the results of the 14th congressional district race. It's a deep red district, as I'm sure you know. Trump endorsed Republican candidate Clay Fuller. He is now headed for a runoff against Democrat Sean Harris. So what does this say to you about the president's political strength at this moment?
Well, you see in this first round, the Democrats did better than the Trump-endorsed Republican Clay Fuller, and it's a sign that Democrats have a bit of optimism about Georgia in a midterm election. Senator John Ossoff also running in that state, a Democrat who won back in 2021. But you see that President Trump's candidate won in a crowded primary, and that there's a lot of debate right now in the GOP, but at the end of the day, having his hand on the scale, it matters.
Hold on, let me back up for a second. I see you. Where'd she get all that from? Where'd she get all of that buttery scotch from? Who smoothed all that out?
There's a lot of debate right now in the GOP, but at the end of the day, having his hand on the scale, it matters.
You know, listen, I think the war in Iran is not helping him. You know, even his base is divided on that. And the latest poll shows most Americans don't support this war.
Did she get a skiing pullback or something?
I know you talked to the president recently.
Look
What
at
did he
all
have
them
to say
wrinkles.
about that? And what are Republicans saying about it to you?
There might be grumbles behind the scenes, Gail, but when he was with congressional Republicans in recent days, they were giving him a standing ovation.
But
And
they
so-
always do, though, don't they?
So far, and that could end at some point, but not anytime soon based on my reporting. And you see in the president's conversation with me in recent weeks, and you see in his conversation with Republicans,
That's how
a
girls
lot
take
of
their Instagram pictures. They always put
conversation with me and
see a girl from a distance in her Instagram picture. Be like, hold up. What's that over there? You know what I'm saying? Like, wait a minute. Okay, I see you, baby girl. That's how they take their Instagram pictures. It'd be real far. Be just like that. Be just like that. Then you meet him in person, like boom, bum, 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 bum.
recent weeks. And you see in his conversation with Republicans a lot of confidence that, yes, people are concerned about the economy. The Democrats are running on affordability. There's, of course, concern about a war in the Middle East against Iran. But at the same time, he has such a grip over the GOP going back 10 plus years now. There's no real opposition to him in a formidable way.
And he's still very popular with his base. That has not changed.
Some of the people in the base are non-interventionists. They don't love to see the U.S. military going into Iran. Think about even his own vice president, J.D. Vance, a firm supporter of President Trump, but not exactly someone who would be advocating for this kind of military intervention. But he's still on the same team. He's still sticking with President Trump.
Now in Kentucky, the president has backed the primary challenger of one of his staunchest
critics, Republican Congressman Thomas Massey. What is the message do you think that the president is sending ahead of those midterms?
So this is a race we're really watching because in Georgia, it was Marjorie Taylor Greene's district, very conservative. You wouldn't be surprised to see his candidate do pretty well there. But Thomas Massey has his own independent conservative reputation in Kentucky, and he's gone against, we've been following it, President Trump on the Epstein files. He's been opposed to President Trump and how he's handled the war with Iran. So if President Trump can topple someone who's a real high-profile critic, that'll be a sign to a lot of other Republicans, don't mess with the president. But if Massey...
Here's the thing, bro. This is what it comes back down to be honest with you. I know a lot of people have a lot of theory on what issues are going to matter most to the people. It's really just whoever has the best talking points. I don't think that Marjorie Taylor Greene, in any way, shape, or form, she was a rhino the whole time, right? So now when you're talking about a runoff and what the possibilities could be as far as whether or not Democrats or Republicans are going to make inroads, whether Democrats are going to make inroads in the places where Republicans traditionally held a seat, it's whoever it is that's going to have the best talking points. The one thing about people is people are fickle. People are fickle. They're going to switch on you depending on whatever the popular issue is at the time that's being promoted, right? That's just the facts, right? That's a lot of times why legislators try to drum up support depending on whatever the popular issue is. Whoever raised the most money, whoever gets the most endorsements, whoever can navigate through whatever it is like the hot topic is the Epstein files, right? Where do you stand on the Epstein files? Where do you stand on Israel and Iran? And that's how people vote. People vote based off of popularity. It's no different than what's happening in the content creation space. Even with Jasmine Crockett, I think that Jasmine Crockett got caught up on shit that didn't matter. And that she spent more time focusing on how much she didn't like the president more than she was paying attention to what the constituents and what the voters were looking for. Somebody said, didn't you used to be a Democrat? Yeah, didn't you, nigga? Yeah, motherfucker, when I was 18 and 20 and 21, 22 years old, of course I was a Democrat. I'm black. I was raised in a predominantly black household. We all Democrat when we 20, 21, and 22. I'm 43. I'm a grown fucking man. I got a daughter. No, I'm not Democrat no more. I've lived life. I've seen shit. Didn't you? Yeah, when I was poor. It took me going broken to see life for what it really was. For me to actually get up out of the plantation. We's not Democrats no more. Yeah, we always Democrat. Most of us. Didn't you used to be Democrat? Yeah, I also used to be broke. I's not broke no more. You know what I'm saying? Magic City. Magic City. Let's go to Magic City.
The NBA has canceled the Hawks Magic City Night promotion. The promotion, which was set for next Monday's game against the Magic, planned to celebrate the famous Magic City Club and its influence on Atlanta culture. The Hawks planned a live performance by T.I., themed merchandise, and the club's signature lemon pepper wings. T.I. will still perform at halftime. Magic City's management said the night.
Look how small this place is, bro. Look how small the parking lot is. A lot of people don't even realize, like, if you had never been to Atlanta and you never drove by Magic City, you would think that this place would just look like a big old mansion and it's all stuff over here. No, these are small storefront looking motherfucking buildings with small parking lots. And there's people in there throwing stuff, throwing money at the holes. That's it. It's a hole in the wall. It's a hole in the wall. It's a small fucking storefront. And a whole NBA team was trying to do a tribute night to a storefront. And eventually the NBA commissioner said, all right, enough is enough. Y'all niggas don't know what y'all don't know how to act right. So we're going to step in and shut it down.
Would be family friendly with no nudity. But this afternoon, NBA Commissioner Adam Silver issued a statement reading, when we became aware of the Atlanta Hawks scheduled promotion, we reached out to Hawks leadership to better understand their plans and rationale. While we appreciate the team's perspective and their desire to move forward, we have heard significant concerns from a broad array of league stakeholders, including fans, partners, and employees. I believe canceling this promotion is the right decision for the broader NBA community.
Let me tell you what it really meant. People like me, people like you, people that had a significant voice in the community, Luke Cornett, an NBA journeyman, said this is stupid. And all of the women revolted against him. It's ironic. This is why I don't pay to pander. This is why it doesn't pay to pander. When Luke Cornett stood up for women and said, I don't think that this makes it right, and we don't want to do this. We don't want to do this against women. When Paul George, Luke Cornett, he decided to stand up for y'all, and y'all pandered. Y'all pandered. All of the women came out against him. They talked negatively about him. And next thing you know, the women turned against him. They turned against him. They started talking negatively about him because he tried to stand up for y'all.
Because you never know what race these guys are in the NBA. Like, because ever since I found out this guy was black, So last week, the Atlanta Hawks announced that they're having a Magic City Monday night. When the Hawks play the Magic on Monday, March 16th, they're selling Magic City hoodies. They're selling Magic City lemon pepper wings. Like, they're doing a whole night dedicated to this cultural institution in Atlanta. It's a strip club. Actually, I don't know what I'm laughing about because ain't shit funny, according to Luke Cornett. Allow me to read you his Substack essay he wrote about the Atlanta.
All right, we know the Substack essay. He said that he didn't want them to do it because it wasn't family friendly and it paints women in a bad light. Let me show y'all some time. But then right after that, this is what she said on the very next thing.
If Luke Cornett hasn't also written a Substack essay calling for people to petition the NBA and NFL about their very lax domestic abuse policies that are super inconsistent. I mean, you get banned for life for gambling, but if you beat your wife, you're right back in the league in a few months, buddy, you know? If he doesn't write outraged essays about that, but he can write a Substack essay calling for us to petition the Atlanta Hawks to cancel Magic City Monday. This is performative allyship, Luke. This is performative feminism. You're not a feminist, buddy. Like, I get it. Calling for people to ban Magic City from the NBA because it's unsafe for women who work in the NBA, and you want the NBA to be a safe space for women. Yeah. I mean, I can't say we agree on that, right? Like, we agree on that. And I can hear where he's coming from. Like, he's trying to protect women, but we need women to be protected from your coworkers. Yeah.
Listen, stop pandering to women. They are not going to be on your team. They are not going to be. You can advocate for them. The only way for women to figure out what's really life, I told y'all in the last segment, you have to let them suffer. That's the only way. You are right. See, Diggs, one issue has nothing to do with the other, but it doesn't matter because women are now looking at him as the villain for saying that we shouldn't have Magic City because it paints women in a negative light. So now they're turning on him and saying, you're just performative. You're not really for us. You should have let them stand where they are. You should have let them stay in the same spaces that they were, because now you look like an idiot because you tried to save them from themselves and they didn't want to be saved. You pander and you look dumber. You pander, you look more stupid than ever before. Stop pandering. I keep telling guys this all the time. When you pander, you get the bad end of the stick. You do not get the girl. You do not get the flowers. You don't get the money. You don't get the accolades. You get nothing but disrespect. The more you pander, the more disrespectful they become. And that's what he get, trying to stand up for y'all.
Like, we need women to be protected from that. Yeah, Magic City, we have other fish to fry for sure. But athletes abuse women every single day. Athletes essay women every single day and get away with that shit. Deshaun Watson became the highest paid NFL player of all time the year after being accused of essay by almost 30 women. Write a Substack essay about that. I'm not trying to hear about Magic City Monday.
And that's exactly what's wrong. Somebody caught it directly. Jimbo right here says, well, first 7 rounds says Bo is getting backlash for wanting us to do better. Jimbo says this is why the left is in shambles. An NBA player took time to discuss something important, and now he's receiving abuse for not instantly speaking about other things. Let them be. Bro, have you ever tried to save a chick from the streets? Have you ever tried to save a chick from the streets? You know what happens when you try to save a chick for the streets? You become the mark. You become the sucker. It's almost like trying to fight somebody and stop them from abusing their girlfriends. You know what happens when you try to do that? Sometimes they can turn on you and fight you. Sometimes they try to turn on you and fight you. You keep trying to save them for themselves. They don't want to be saved. They want to be for the streets. They trying to hold that shit out. Man, you got to let them do whatever they're going to do. That's what I learned in life in general. In life and in general, you got to let them be. Meet them where they are and stop trying to convince women, specifically women that want to be out here. Stop trying to stop them from being for themselves. You just supposed to roll with the people that's aligned with what you got going on. If you keep trying to save people from themselves, you're going to get yourself cracked. You're going to get your head cracked in. Ain't trying to hang out with you, trying to be around you, trying to figure out what you thinking. Oh, man, he aligns with us until he don't.
To the Mondays. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
What are you doing
there? The NBA is hosting the Atlanta Falcons versus the Magic.
The Hawks.
What I say?
Falcons.
Atlanta Hawks.
Robert.
Now I feel like I'm hot. The Atlanta Hawks playing the Orlando Magic, but since they got the Magic, I'm saying it's in Atlanta. Magic Mondays. The game is on Monday, so they got Magic City basically hosting the game, or
Basically, it's a promotion.
It's a promotion. Okay.
You know, it's like if they had
Atlanta's so cool.
If they had a Lord of the Rings night or what have you, you know, I think people gotta understand. Atlanta is a multi-layered, multifaceted, multicultural place.
That's the culture.
We celebrate a lot of different cultures. We celebrate a lot of different things that may not make sense to people outside of Atlanta, Georgia.
Right.
Facts.
We kind of operate on our own happiness and our own things that we see fit. Now, this is what I know about Magic City. is a Black-owned business. It's a family-ran business, and everybody gets treated with respect when you walk in the door.
Right.
If you carry yourself with respect,
Right.
A lot of people love Magic City and adore and champion Magic City because of what I just said, because of how you get treated. Now, what your experience is inside that building, that's going to be tailor-made to what you into. You know what I mean? So even when I had my situation, as far as the bubble go, people's imaginations ran wild and they made it about strippers and throwing money and this and that. I've said time and time again on my platform, that's not my experience. That's not what I'm there to do. Now, have I thrown my fair share of wands over time? Of course I have. But now it's more so like this is my extended friends and family.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so that's somewhere I go frequent. Now with that, there are a lot of regulars that do the same thing that I do.
Right.
So we see it different. And let's never forget how amazing the kitchen is.
I was gonna say that's what you really go for is to eat.
So let's also not.
That's a fact. Yo, that's the best description ever. TM Speak says this is like a crackhead describing crack. Facts. What are we talking about, bro? Dog, he is speaking about a strip club like it's some kind of elusive fine dining establishment that was derived from Rome, from the Holy Grail of speaking, and they've had conciliaires and sommeliers curate the wine culture. Oh my God. The fuck is you talking about, dog? And then listen, this don't got nothing to do with Lou Will, the person. I think that he's a phenomenal NBA analyst. Obviously, ain't nobody gonna take nothing away from his career because he was one of the best to ever do it, especially when it came to handles. The only person that they say might have had better handles than him is Kyrie Irving. So this don't have nothing to do with Lou Will, the NBA player, NBA analyst, and all of that. This motherfucker is talking about and describing this shit like it's Rome. Have you ever seen the Colosseum? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. We talking about a family-friendly event for the NBA that kids go to. You don't want to promote strip culture to children. Now, if you want to have this affinity for this place because they've treated you so well and it's so great and all of this other stuff, that's cool. I don't have no problem with that when it comes to adults. But do y'all not recognize the people that patronize the NBA, the people that pay for tickets, the people that pay, that create, a family that goes to a game?
Forget how the merch play.
Oh, I forgot about the merch.
Atlanta and Magic City, whether you like it or not, Magic City is a landmark in Atlanta.
Right.
Whether you agree with it or not.
The culture is over, bro. The culture is over. I'm just telling y'all, it's done. It's over. It's over, bro. It's over. It is absolutely over. And now that every basketball player, every rapper got a podcast microphone, when we used to just see them as posters on our wall, and when we could have just picked up their card, their player's card, their fleet card or something like that, we looked at them different because they wasn't talking. We never heard anything about what them saying, right? We didn't hear their voices and what they had to say. Now that we get to see their thoughts, just fuck it up. It's that whole thing where never meet your heroes theory. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that he's my hero, but it's a never meet your heroes, because we can now hear them speak and this shit is sounding crazy. Crazy, bro.
It is a landmark.
If you speak of
who wouldn't agree with
it?
it?
You never step foot in there.
Who is this girl on here? Who is this?
If you speak of
Who wouldn't agree?
Who is this? Fuck is going on? And who wouldn't agree on this? Who Hoppo, who are these women with such opinions in important issues like Magic City in Atlanta? Hoppo, who are these women?
Whether you never step foot in there or whether you frequent there, you've heard of Magic City.
Right.
And it's part of your conversation when you come to Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so this is a
question, not to cut you off, but to cut you off. How did Magic Monday start? How did that start? Monday being the night.
That's
not
a
a
great
weekend.
question. Maybe we should go in the archives, and I'm sure
I'm
Mr.
trying to
Magic answered
probably
that.
answer
for us.
that. Yeah, I thought about
That's
that.
a great question on how.
Y'all some ignorant fools. Y'all are so dumb. Y'all are so ignorant. He is not Slimmy, bro. Why y'all trying to act like that? Stop, bro. Stop. Just stop, bro.
But to cut you off.
Build Magic City. He thought you was in there brick by brick, going like this,
Well,
building Magic City
I
with
think I
the
got some
ones.
contact, bro.
You know,
I think I got some contact.
so
You did not get.
I'm licking my lips
This
a
is why
lot.
I don't like being
Well,
with
hold on,
niggas
that's
that
my
don't
lips.
smoke.
I'm licking my lips a lot, yo.
Well, let me say this before
This is why I don't like being around people that don't smoke.
And so, you know, you seeing people, you're seeing people speak out about the collaboration, and I think it's a great collaboration for people that understand it.
Yeah.
Like, and also let's keep it in context. You know what Magic City is, but you've got to be kind of hip to know what it is. And if you've never been there, then kind of reserve opinion about what you don't know. This is about merch. It's about selling hoodies and selling wings.
Selling food. Yeah.
Now, if you want to go do a field trip, then by all means, that's on you. But they won't. The only live entertainment that will be in State Farm Arena is gonna be the players.
Right.
Yeah, it's not like they thinking like the stripper's gonna be at the arena.
Yo, we cooked, bro. Honestly, we are absolutely cooked. We are so degenerate, and we cooked as a culture. I don't know how we can get it back. I don't think that we can get it back. I don't think it's a possibility for it to get it. It's Wednesday already? Shit. I didn't know it was Wednesday already. Wow. It's Wednesday already? Jesus. I didn't even realize that it was already Wednesday. This week is going fast. We are cooked as a culture, y'all. Absolutely cooked as a culture. Eric TV says, not the Democrats, AD. Yep. Tony Esquire says, what's good, AD? Just got out of physical therapy at Walter Reed and prefer watching the Millionaire Morning Show from the beginning. I'll catch you live on the night stream. Be easy. Yeah, we got Wednesday night with Shampoo and Mimi and all of my friends. JW Sanchez says, the culture is so trash. Wonder why we have issues and participate in the very thing that degrades our society. That girl is a bird brain. The collab is gross, not the place nor the time. Damn, I didn't even realize it was Wednesday. My days just started running together, bro. The weekdays is like the weekends, all of that type of stuff, bro. I can't wait for the weather to break. Yeah, Wednesday night show tonight. We getting it in. Let me go to Rihanna.
She's out of there. Pop star.
My baby girl Riri is leaving LA.
She's out of there. Pop star Rihanna is understandably freaked out. A woman was charged with attempted murder after cops say she shot at Rihanna's Beverly Hills mansion with an assault rifle. Now, Rihanna has reportedly fled Los Angeles over safety concerns. Here's Jim Murray.
Rihanna is fleeing L.A. after the terrifying shooting at her Beverly Hills mansion.
Shooting just occurred. Approximately 10 shots heard.
That's Rihanna's staff loading up half a dozen suitcases of the singer's belongings. Her convoy headed into the Van Nuys airport, where Rihanna was spotted on a private jet taking off. destination unknown. The singer is freaking out, a source close to her tells People magazine. She doesn't understand why anyone would target her family. Police booked Ivana Ortiz for attempted murder after they say she drove up in her white Tesla to Rihanna's house on Sunday afternoon and opened fire with an assault rifle. The bullets pierced Rihanna's gate, an RV parked in her driveway. Rihanna, A$AP Rocky, and their children were reportedly all home, as well as others.
There were a total of 10 people present when that shooting occurred. Yeah, as far as motive, we haven't established that yet.
In January, Ortiz made a deranged social...
Yo, look at this shit. See, a lot of guys will look at this right here and they'll say, oh man, I hit that. That's a baddie, whatever, blah, 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 so on and so forth. Yo, y'all not looking at the context clues of why we should have never even took this woman, why we should have took her serious in the first place. She recording in front of a white refrigerator, fam. And it's trophies hanging up on a ledge and books right next to the white refrigerator that you could swing open the door. Now, fuck the eyes. Nigga, look at the background. Nigga, she recording in front with a chair that got a cover on it and a fucking white refrigerator. Nigga, y'all should have been on high alert immediately. Anybody that record in front of a white fridge like that, you in trouble, nigga. Nigga, she got the kids' trophies. Nigga, them the same trophies you can go and get at the hobby shop right now. Hobby shop will give you 5 for 25 right now. You see them trophies? And she bought them for herself. Nigga, this is a certified crazy mother effer. And she recording in front of a refrigerator all day long. Man, I better start paying attention to the context clues. Y'all better start paying attention to the context clues. Y'all say she in y'all say she in front of the refrigerator, but she ain't in the kitchen. Oh man, y'all said she in front of the refrigerator, but she ain't even in the kitchen. That's a fact. That's a whole fact though. That's crazy. That is absolutely insane. I don't trust it. I would never trust this. Look at them trophies.
Social media post rambling about the devil and Rihanna.
You saw Rihanna? I keep telling her to stop harassing me. To stop harassing me.
Court doc.
Look, she ain't even in the kitchen. You're right. Look.
I keep telling her.
That ain't no kitchen. That's not a kitchen.
To stop harassing me. To stop harassing me.
Court documents show 35-year-old Ivana Ortiz lost custody of her daughter in 2024 and was held temporarily under Florida's Baker Act, an involuntary mental health hold. The shooting here at Rihanna's mansion is a wake-up call for all celebrities.
Look how high the walls are. You see how high the walls is over at that place?
Who could potentially be targeted by obsessed fans who could easily find out where they live. Security expert Kent Moyer.
Once people know where you live, what else is a celebrity to do? Are they supposed to move? No.
You can build layers of protection at the house and make sure that you have fence sensors and cameras with AI, cameras that maybe would identify whether the person has a weapon on them. Reality is you got to plan for all types of threats.
That's crazy, bro. That is absolutely crazy. So I seen another report that said that they were actually in the Airstream, or they was doing something in the Airstream when everything hit. Now, she basically packed up and she got the fuck up out of there. They got up out of there. Now, first of all, that's popping. That's so fly. That's so fresh. That, see, most of us in the culture in this society, if it's something wrong, then we just got to deal with it and we just got to hope that they don't come back or that it's not something else that come along with it. She jumped on the PJ and she was up out of there. She packed up 12 suitcases of luggage. She probably in a whole nother country, bro. That's so fly. That's so fresh to just be able to get up. Hey, man, there's something happening at the crib. You know what? I ain't dealing with this foolishness. We getting up out of here. We getting up out of here. Meanwhile, our competition over here is recording in front of a refrigerator.